Cultivated in France, brought over to England in 1924 by none other than Sir William Gage. Do that right. We'll do. Welcome back to Baldor's News on the Farm. I'm Patrick AHERN. Let's go over to the West Coast, talk about transition a little bit. Normally it happens in March, so it's not happening just yet. Unfortunately, it is a little cool and wet north, so things are going to come on a little slow. And down in Yuma, where things were ahead in the field, now it's slowing down, there's going to be some gapping. In particular, cauliflower and broccoli prices have almost doubled in the last 2 days. Let's look into red leaf, green leaf, romaine hearts also on the rise, as well as artichokes, in particular the baby ones. What's good? Mexico, Florida still producing great tons of tomatoes, the rounds, the plum tomatoes. They're on the floor. They've only got one place to go, which is up, but right now they're steady along with grape tomatoes and cherry tomatoes. Never seen better prices. Coming out of Florida this weekend, the freshest, best you've ever seen, beautiful new potatoes. Also, we got a lot of items that it may not be spring, but it's beginning to look a little bit like spring at Baldor. Beginning to look a little bit like spring at Baldor, even though we have a few more weeks to go. Let's start here with fresh morels, a true harbinger of spring. Okay, these are not from the Pacific Northwest, these are from China, but they are beautiful. They're dry, they're firm, great for stuffing. Slice them, make a beautiful sauce for your steak. The only thing I recommend with these, give them a little bit of a wash, or certainly take a brush and get all the little bits and pieces out of those beautiful honeycomb shell. Right in front of it, fresh garbanzo beans, chickpeas. You've all made hummus. These are going to be the new edamame. Put these in a little pan with some oil and a little salt. Quite delicious. Add them to some pasta. Put them in with a little bit of rice. Or make a traditional hummus, but with a green, fresh garbanzo. Quite delicious. A couple of nice things from Noel's Organic Farm out in California. First off, the pea tendrils. They taste really just like a beautiful sweet pea. Saute them. Chop them up if you like raw. Use them in a salad. Turn them into some kind of pesto. Absolutely great. Right here is his fava bean leaves. Look how beautiful and decorative they are on the plate. You can basically do the same with these things as you do with these. Saute, puree, or basically put them in a salad. Again, very earthy, very fresh. Makes you think of spring. Right in front of it, we've got from the Pacific Northwest, these beautiful wild onions. And look at these beautiful flowers on the top. Later on in the season, we'll be selling these flowers separately, 50 count in a bag. Right now, they're attached to this. You could eat this baby all the way from the tip to the tail, but don't eat too much. Does taste very much like onion. If you're going out on a date, you should both eat this, not just one of you. Last but not least, GREENGAGE plums from New Zealand. Started off as a wild plum in Turkey, ended up getting cultivated in France, brought over to England by none other than Sir William Gage, and of course into America, where they were grown by the likes of Thomas Jefferson and Washington. And then, of course, they kind of fell out of popularity in America, but they picked them up in New Zealand. Now we bring them in every year. We look forward to them. Got about another month of these left. Get them while you can. Great for dessert, great out of hand. Eat them with cheese. They are delicious. Items that are in short supply. Let's start with Man's Aspiration, the one that's packed 3 by 2 pounds. We didn't mention that in the intro, but that's a little bit tight. Yellow and green squash, also running, short and expensive. And then Harry's berries, we know they're delicious, but they just don't grow to get that sweetness when it's too cool as it is right now. Cloud has a silver lining, and of course there's a few deals we've got that are going on out of Texas. All those dark cooking greens, the likes of collards, kale, and also the escarole. Prices are pretty good. And coming out of Florida, green beans, they don't get any cheaper than they are right now. Something to look forward to coming in the next week or 10 days, those beautiful pink muscat grapes out of Chile. And a few things that we've got already started to trickle in from the Pacific Northwest. Fiddleheads, miner's lettuce, wild watercress, and those stingy things, nettles. Great stuff for the spring as it approaches. And also coming out of Holland, jumbo white asparagus, extremely tender, really delicious, great stuff. Thanks for joining us at Baldor's News from the Farm. We hope to see you again in the next week or 2.